सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावदितमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। ओम नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। हरि ओम। Welcome to the 21st episode of Tales from the Mahabharata, Yaksha Prashna. So this Yaksha is asking questions to Yudhishthira and Yudhishthira is giving reply. This question and answer is to save the life of his brothers who have already fallen unconscious because they drank into the pool of water which belongs to the Yaksha. So the question number 83 to 86, the verse is Yaksha uvacha tapah kim lakshanam proktam kodamascha prakirtitah kshama chaka para prokta kacha hrihi parikirtita. There are 4 questions in this and Yudhishthira replies. Yudhishthira uvacha tapasvadharmavartitvam manaso damanam damaha kshama dvandva sahishnutvam hrirakarya nivartanam. This whole episode of Yaksha Prashna are question and answers based on dharma, what we need to follow in our life, and clarifying many aspects of dharma. Tapaha kim lakshanam proktam tapaha swadharma vartitvam. So what is the quality of tapas? Ashuddhikshayat tapasaha, says Patanjali Maharishi. Tapa alochane is also one of the, alochana means contemplation, thinking about something intently is tapasya. And when we do tapasya, it removes the impurities of our body and mind. Tapas is basically putting ourselves through certain difficulties so that we attain a higher goal in life. Tapaha kim lakshanam proktam. What is the quality? What is the definition of tapas? It is asked, it is said, ask the Yaksha, tapaha swadharma vartitvam. We don't need to do anything extraordinary like standing on one's head or for many hours sitting in meditation. We don't need to do anything extraordinary. We just have to pay attention to our work, our duties, our responsibilities. Tapaha swadharma vartitvam. Paying attention to one's own duty is enough tapas to do. Performing one's own duty according to our inner nature, according to whether we are predominantly sattvic or rajasic or tamasic, our duties just flow accordingly. And when we concentrate on that work, it is tapasya. It is based on our inner tendencies or vasanas. Nature also predisposes us towards certain duties. In our families also we have our own duties and responsibilities according to the age in life, whether 0 to 25, 25 to 50, 50 to 75 or 75 to 100. We fall under these categories of Brahmacharya ashrama, Grihastha ashrama, Vanaprastha ashrama and sannyasa ashrama. According to the Brahmacharya ashrama, our duty will be to study from the Shastras or from what we need to know, the way of life. Grihastha ashrama will be attending to our home duties as a grihastha, as a married person, duties towards our family, duties towards our children, duties towards our parents and elders, and the pitrus, the devas, the gods who serve us. We worship them through yajnas, puja, lighting the lamp, drawing of columns, chanting of shlokas. Duties to the rishis who have taught us all these very beautiful works that show us the path in life. So it is our duty to study the Vedas, chant the Vedas, chant the Puranas and Itihasas which the rishis have given us. The duty towards the other beings like crows, birds, animals, ants, the other beings, trees, plants, nature that make our life very easy, and duty towards our country. So, the 5 kinds of duties prescribed for the grihasthas, doing that itself is tapasya. Then, when we turn 50 to 75, these are broad guidelines given by the Shastras. 50 to 75 is a time when we spend attending to the divine powers or worshipping of the gods. And 75 to 100 is a time we spend exploring who we are in reality, exploring our true self, meditating on the self, preparing ourselves for the final exit, which can happen anytime around 100 years of age. Tapaha kim lakshanam proktam, tapaha swadharma vartitvam. The Bhagavad Gita also talks about swadharma. Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharmat swanushtitat. Even if we take up somebody else's responsibilities and duties and discharge it well, it is not as good as doing our own swadharma, even if there are lapses in doing our swadharma. The words of the Tirukural also says, Tavan seivar, tan karmam seivar, matrallar, avan seivar, asai utpattu. So people who do their own swadharma are the ones who do real work, who do great work. Other people who do not help themselves by doing actions just for the sake of one's own desires. The next question, Kaha damaha cha prakirtitaha manasaha damanam damaha. What is control? Dama means to control. What is the right control? What is the real control? Controlling the mind is the real control. Controlling the mind means not allowing desires to take firm root in the mind, not allowing expression of desires in the form of thought itself. Even when the thought of a desire arises in our mind, letting go of that thought, not paying attention to that thought, not giving importance to that thought, and translating that thought into words and actions is called the real Dhamma. The next question, Kshama Chaka Para Proktam. What is supreme Kshama or forbearance? Kshama is the ability to withstand pains, withstand troubles, withstand difficulties. Kshama dvandva sahishnutvam. The true kshama, the true ability to withstand, is the ability to put up with the dualities of life: morning, night, heat, cold, pain, relaxed, pain and enjoyment, sukha, dukkha, comfort and sorrow. There are so many dualities that keep coming us and meeting us in life. putting up with them is real Kshama. The practice of Hatha Yoga, Patanjali Maharishi says, when we practice asanas, when we put our body through different postures and practice relaxation in those postures, then that practice of Hatha Yoga asanas gives us the power of Dvandva Anabhigataha. We are not disturbed by the realities, the dualities of life. So, Hatha Yoga, the physical movement of the body, gives us that capacity to accept. But here, the acceptance is not a physical acceptance, the acceptance is of the pinpricks of the mind. Putting up with the pinpricks of the mind, with a smile on the face, being unperturbed, being really unperturbed by them, meaning it takes constant practice of identifying the dualities, identifying the differences, identifying how those differences are affecting us, how we get disturbed because of those differences, and watching those differences at the thought level, at the feeling level, and identifying and accepting that yes, this duality is affecting me, I am being disturbed by this. Identifying that thought is the first level, is the first step to being able to accept it and endure it or give it up. True acceptance or forbearance is to endure the dualities that beset life. It is also called titiksha. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Shri Krishna tells Arjuna, you know that you are the truth, you are the supreme reality. The other things, just put up with them because they happen when the sense organs, the powers of the sense organs, come in contact with the sense objects. Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhadaham agama payino nityaha tam stitikshasva bharata matraha. The five tanmatras, the powers of seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, and touching, feeling through touch. They come in contact with the objects of sound, object of sight, meaning the form, object of smelling, some item which we smell, object of taste, and object of touch. When the powers come in contact with these objects, then it gives us the feelings of Shita, Uchna, cold and heat. It gives us the experiences of Sukha and Dukkha. It also gives us an understand, when we understand this object mentally, it also gives us Mana and Apamana. Mana means measurement of something. Apamana is a lesser measurement of something, which gives us sorrow. Mana gives us joy, Apamana gives us sorrow. So these keep coming and going in life. So put up with them. Agamaha, apayinaha. They come, they go. They are anityaha. They are not permanent. Tam stitikshasva bharata. Put up with them, O Bharata, Arjuna. The Mahabharata also says, Kshama Virasya Bhushanam. Kshama or forbearance, the capacity to put up with difficulties, is the ornament of a Veera or a very brave person. The next question, 86th question. Ka chakrihi parikirtitam hrihi akarya nivartanam. What is lajja? What is a shyness or modesty? Is called hri. Hrihi, dhihi, bhihi, Bhagavan um, Shri Krishna tells in chapter 10 of the Bhagavad Gita, among many feminine qualities, the quality of Hri, which is my own self, he says. So, Hri, what is Hri or modesty? Attending to our own actions, our own work, minding our own business is called modesty. According to Yudhishthira, he is answering this question from the Yaksha. Yaksha asks him, what is Hri or what is modesty? Yudhishthira says, minding my own business, attending to my own work, focusing on what I have to do, which is basically a different form of the first question. What is what is the tapas? Swadharma, Swadharma Vartitvam, focusing on my own Swadharma or my own duty. So, Hri is basically the first question is a general pattern in life. Hri is a quality that we cultivate. How do we cultivate the quality of Hri? When I am doing this work, I focus completely on this work. So, when my energies are focused on the work, they are not focused on the doer of the work. I am not focused on the aspect that I am doing this work, but I am focused on the work itself. I'm completely absorbed in the work. So that makes me a modest person because I am not talking about the doer of the work or how well I'm doing the work, but I am completely giving and absorbing myself into the work. That is what is called Hri or Swadharma nivar, Akarya Nivartanam. Not Swadharma Nivartanam is focusing on the work. Hri is not paying attention to what I don't need to do. There are certain actions that I should not do, which are proscribed actions. They are not mentioned in the Vedas, or they are nishiddha karma, doing actions which are um, which are prohibited actions. For example, in the Tirukkural also, there is a very beautiful Tirukkural. It says, Malittalum Neetalum Venda Ulagam Palittadu Olittu Vidin. If I just give up those actions which the world is shunning, then I don't need to shave my hair or I don't need to grow my hair long. The outer presentations of sannyasa are not required if I shun actions that are shunned by the world, and that is called modesty or hri. Questions 87 to 90. Yaksha uvacha kim jnanam prochyate rajan kaha shamascha prakirtitaha daya cha ka para prokta kim charjavam udakritam. So Yaksha is asking these four questions and Yudhishthira replies. Yudhishthira uvacha jnanam tattvata swam sambodha shamaschitta prashantata daya sarva sukhaishitvam arjavam samachittata. Very interesting and different answers. Kim jnanam prochate rajan. What is knowledge? I know a tumbler, I know a book, I know computer, I know mobile phone, I know the capital of Japan, I know how many countries are there in this world, I know the map of every country, I know the flag of every country, I know the population of every country. We have so much of knowledge which is general knowledge. But what is knowledge, Rajan, O king? What is knowledge? Jnanam tattva artha sambodaha. Tattva artha. Tattva means essence. What is the essence of this world? What is the essence of God? What is the essence of my own self? Knowing the essence of everything is knowledge. Sambodaha. Sambodha means not just knowledge in the form of thought, but reflecting on that, meditating on that, and making that knowledge my own personal experience. How do we meditate on that? Tattva means that. Tattva means it. Tattva means I. Tat tvam means being. Tat means that. Tvam means being that. Thatness of something. So the thatness of sugar is sweet. The thatness of salt is salt. The thatness of the ocean is the marine quality of saltiness of the water. Thatness of the river is a sweet water. The darkness of the self is the quality of Sat, which is existence. I exist as the self, Sat. I exist as consciousness, Chit. I exist as bliss, Ananda. Knowing this very well, very clearly, is knowledge. Everything else is just information. But knowing this is knowledge. Being aware of the knower. Who am I? The knower of the knowledge, the seer of everything in this world. Being aware of that essence, the tattva alone is knowledge. Even in the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, everywhere the importance of knowing the truth, knowing the reality is spoken about. Kaha shamaha cha prakirtitaha. What is being spoken of as shama or quietude of mind? The word shanti comes from the word shama. Sham means the quietness of mind. What is quietness of mind? Shamaha chitta prashantata. The chitta, or that part of the mind which is the storehouse of vasanas. The mind is the mind, it is knowledge basically, but it is a knowledge of objects, which is called the chitta. The objects, or in the chittam, it is a storehouse of memory. The storehouse happens in the form of experiences, in the form of our thoughts, beliefs, and feelings which are there in the mind. This beliefs and feelings and the stored experiences constantly give rise to thoughts. When do they give rise to thoughts? When the experiences are unfulfilled, they're unresolved, when the beliefs are not complete beliefs, when the beliefs is not true knowledge about the truth, the beliefs is something or the other based on ignorance, there is always a state of restlessness in that kind of a chitta. The grammatical root of the word chitta is from chit plus ta. Chit means consciousness, knowing. I know this is a water cup. I know this is a glass holder. I know everything. There are many objects, but the knowing is one. That is chit. The knowing comes from consciousness. But the ta refers to vishaya. Takaro vai vishayaha. Vishaya means object. I know sound. The object of hearing is sound. I know forms. The object of seeing is sight. I know smells. The object of smelling. I know taste. The object of tasting. I know feeling. The object of touch. So chittam contains memories of all that we see, hear, taste, smell, and touch throughout our lifetime. From the moment we are born, it is a constant inflow of experiences of situations, objects, people, whether we are consciously aware or whether we are asleep, the information is going into our subconscious mind. So that is this information, if we do not attend to it properly and we do not resolve it by being aware of what information is going inside, which is most of our life we spend that way in our unawareness. So we take in that information It is stored in our subconscious mind, and that information is constantly acting. It is producing thoughts, and when we are not aware of those thoughts come out as words, they come out as desires. Those desires express as words, they express as actions. The actions bring results, the results are being stored again, and they come out as thoughts, words, desires, actions, and this is a very constant movement of the chitta. And what is shanti? What is shama? Chitta prashantata. In the chitta, constantly when we are working towards cleaning our chitta, we can clean a room. When we clean a room, we identify the objects, we remove objects that we don't require, we sort other objects, we set them in our cupboards or shelves or desks, we store them, we constantly attend to them, we shine them, and then we standardize the process, and then we sorting, setting, shining, standardizing, and sustaining that process. In the same way, we sort the thoughts in our mind on a day to day basis, spending some time attending to our mind, picking out, looking into what kind of thoughts we have. It's a process. There are many, many ways to do it. One of the ways is to prayer, worship, japa, going to temples, purification of mind, the purificatory processes, attending to negative thoughts like kama, desires, krodha is anger, lobha is greed, mada is arrogance, jealousy, matsarya, then bhaya, fear, shoka is sorrow, dukkha is experience of difficulties, being very upset about something, dukkha. Then depression of experiencing a depressed state of mind. Then diseases. Many things are there. It is a complex process. There are so many books in the modern age that talk to us about healing the mind, purification of the mind. But the time tested methods are prayer, meditation, japa, going to holy places, vrata, observing vows, fasting, for the sake of purification of mind. Then japa, vrata, tirtha, dana, giving in charity or tithing, it is called. In many religions, it's followed. So many ways of purification of mind. So when we purify the mind, work on purification of mind through karma yoga, without identifying myself as a doer of the action and without wanting any particular result of the action, when I focus my attention and do the action, it is karma yoga. When I do something for the love of the divine, love of the country, love of the parents, love of the society, then it is bhakti yoga. Jnana yoga is purification of the mind through the study of scriptures, swadhyaya and japa. And Raja yoga is purification of the body and mind through meditation. When we follow these processes on a day to day basis as a sadhana, meaning as a practice, and withdraw from whatever is not good for our, whatever are not the right impulses for our mind, then the mind gradually becomes pure, chitta prashantata, and that pure mind is called shama. Shama is that mind where desires don't arise. That mind is like a deep ocean without any waves. The waves that arise in the mind are the desires. The waves are not arising because of external inputs. The waves do not arise because there is absolutely no power that pushes the mind outside for anything whatsoever. And that is called Shama. Daya chaka para proktam, daya sarva sukha ishitvam. What is called daya? We say, like, wishing for somebody's well-being is called compassion. But what is actually compassion? A compassionate state of being. Rishis were very compassionate because they were staying in the forest, they were doing what they were doing, but in their hearts they wished for the welfare of the whole world. That is why we have these kinds of shlokas like Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha. May all people be very comfortable and happy. Sarve Santu Niramayaha. These are general prayers. May all people be free of disease. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. May all people see what is auspicious. Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. May nobody in this world be a repository of dukkha or sorrow. And then we have this famous prayer, Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings in this world be happy. So that is called compassion. Compassion is, passion is focusing our attention on somebody, one person, one individual. Compassion is praying for the welfare of everybody in this world, working for the welfare of everybody in this world so that everybody may be happy. Question number 90. Kim ja arjavam udakritam arjavam samachittatam. What is straightforwardness? Arjavam is being very straightforward in our actions, in our thoughts, in our words, in our feelings. What is that straightforwardness? Samachittata. We cannot try to be straightforward because the mind is constantly directing our words and our actions. So, when we keep that mind stable, a stable mind is a mind that is not disturbed by dualities, a mind that does not function with likes and dislikes, a mind that is neutral. While driving a car, whenever there is some difficult situation, when we rise up and come down and we want to shift the gear, we bring the gear to neuter. In neuter, there is no movement possible, there is no expression possible. The car will just keep going in the same motion in a straight route in neuter gear. And then when we want to increase the speed, we move into first gear and then we again come back to neuter and move into the second gear. So a neutral state of mind is a balanced state of mind. A mind that is not upset by anything, a mind that is not excited by anything, a mind that is not anxious about anything, a mind that is not worried about anything, a mind that is not agitated about anything, a mind that does not lose its balance, there is no acceleration or there is no depression. It's a very calm, balanced, and quiet state of mind. When I function in that calm, balanced, and quiet state of mind, I'm I will do only things that are very straightforward. Arjavam. Arjavam. This straightforwardness is a very important thing. It comes from the word erect. Rect. No? There is rector or the person who is in charge of the discipline of the school and standing erect. When I stand erect, when the spine is erect, my vision is very straightforward. So the word sakshi, or the one who sees, the one who perceives, is called sakshat ikshate, the one who looks directly, the one who looks straight, looking straight into the eye, meeting somebody with a balanced vision. So that is called arjavam or straightforwardness. Is there any other way we can be straightforward? There is no other way other than balancing the mind or functioning from a very balanced state of mind. So the rest of the questions we will continue tomorrow. Om Sarvesham स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मंगलम भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ओम असतो मा सद्गमय तमसोर्मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। हर नमः पार्वती पतये। हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम।